Hi guys, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the Twin Flame family, and I already have your first set of questions from the Q&A. So I had asked Twin Flames to write me and let me know your questions about the journey. And it just so happened that like the first 5 questions that filtered in are just so perfect and divinely timed to put into one video. And so, but please keep sending your questions because I'll make other videos as well. So also, if you're just tuning into my channel, you can check out what I do at thetwinflamefamily.com. I'm a soul coach and a twin flame healer and guidance counselor. You can click on schedule a session if you'd like to book a private session with me. And we're also holding a free conference call tonight for Twin Flames, which is going to be great. And I'm going to just dig right into the questions because I feel like this is going to help all of you so much. And so thank you for everyone who's written in. And like I said, keep them coming because I'll continue to make videos with these answers. So get comfortable because this is going to be a lot of information. I feel like each of these questions rounds the journey as a whole out, which is perfect. So the first person who wrote in was Tanya, and she said, or the first one on my list is Tanya. And she said, you know, at times during my life path of being a twin flame, I felt very alone in my experience. I have wonderful family and close friends, but I'm unable to speak about my synchronicities and supernatural experiences as they are not spiritually inclined. I've internalized a lot of beautiful things that I'd love to share in fear of sounding crazy. I don't feel like I'm able to be my true authentic self with the people I'm closest to and love to open up, be real, and feel accepted for my journey. What would your advice be of how to bring up the twin flame subject with loved ones? Okay, so here's my answer. And the first piece of this is those that are not on the journey, spiritual, twin flame, or otherwise, of ascension, are not going to get it. If we're looking for them to get it, it's for validation, and we don't need their validation. So I understand there's a lot of joy in the synchronicities and all the fun things. And what I have to remind you of is you have found a community, and that is through your own creation. You're finding me and my support group and this channel and everyone that you've connected with on YouTube and all the information that you tap into and other healers and other readers. You're finding that through the power of your own manifestation. It is very difficult when you are on such a deeply spiritual and heightened vibrationally, in that place of like such another state. It's very hard for those that aren't walking the same path to relate. But there's 2 things here. Okay, one is this is still about getting in your power. So Tanya and everyone who's asking this question, once you're in your power and you're trusting the process fully and you're just in full self-acceptance, some of this light is going to shine through and others will be really receptive to it. You won't have to sit down and say, I'm a twin flame and I've done this and do you get that? And isn't this cool? Or isn't this amazing? Can you believe this? You're not going to have to do that. The light around you will radiate as a being that is very self-assured, that is very confident in her own spirituality. So when you bring up little nuances like, oh, this sign is so amazing, and oh, that resonates, or, you know, when you're standing in the presence of your earthly being, friends and family who are more tapped into this time-space reality, they'll kind of go along with you, and you'll see that shift happen. This isn't about trying to show those who aren't on the journey the way to be or to seek their validation or to even have the chuckles with them because frankly, they're not going to get it all the way. It doesn't mean, however, that you have to dim your light. And so this is about balance. It's about balance of owning your powers, owning these spiritual gifts, and still giving off your light so that the others around you will flow with you, but you don't have to be so blatant about it. You're not going to be seeking validation. They'll flow with you in it, okay? Because you're going to really own that spiritual power that you have. Now, the second piece of this, which is the most important piece, is just as you've manifested me, as I was starting to say, and and your other healers and the community and the information that you've accessed, you can tap into your manifestation powers to manifest those who are like-minded in your life. You have to intentionally ask for it. You have to put it out there. You have to join spiritual groups. You have to join classes. You have to just say, I welcome my arms to those that are like-minded who will get it, and next thing you know, you won't even have to join the class unless you feel like you want to. You'll just be in the coffee shop and someone will walk in and you'll both drop something and you'll pick something up and you'll go, oh, this is so cool. Oh, this is so cool. And then you'll start talking and then you'll have this very synchronistic conversation. You'll find out they're just like you. Or maybe it's someone that's already in your yoga class, or someone who you haven't met yet, but that you just want to connect to so that they get it. They're in a high vibrational place too. And I'm telling you, when you get into a high vibrational state, you're not going to attract anything else. You're only going to be spending time with high vibe people. So you have to believe that that's possible, and you have to invite that in. And that doesn't mean pulling away from your friends or family, but that does mean that there's a whole new world with this. And it may start with my support group call tonight. For those of you that want to chime into a community of support with like-minded thinking. But there's also people and experiences for you locally where you live and around you that will make you feel very understood, okay? As I speak to these two things about owning your spiritual presence and letting others just kind of follow, because the more in belief of it you are, the more they'll just sort of follow you. And secondly, creating a whole new experience with new people through the spiritual law of attraction, where you're attracting like-minded people into you with a high vibration who align with you. And then you won't need it so much from friends and family. You can sort of like put that in a place of, and not have to dim your light or compromise, if that makes sense. So another thing that keeps coming up in private sessions that I just want to speak to quickly, because it's along these same lines, is this notion of conservative thinking that's been inbred in us since childhood, and how come nobody understands me, and how can I own this more? And this has come up in like every private session I've had in the past few weeks. And it's because something in early childhood was shut down. Somebody told you you can't own your spiritual powers, or no, you have to stay in the real world, or you've got to, you're crazy, or you're, or there's just fears of sounding crazy, which Tanya, who wrote in, had said. And the thing about this is that you won't fear that when you're fully in it, when you're fully confident of it, when you fully own it and embrace it yourself. And this may be breaking years of old beliefs and old patterns of thinkings because of that wounded self, where this owning your spirituality was suppressed, okay? So give yourself permission to own it. Step fully into it. Know that there is an integration between your higher self and your 3D world that can strike a perfect balance, that you can have one arm up here and one arm right here on the plane of reality, paying your bills and doing your life. But while you're paying your bills and doing your life and visiting with your friends and family who don't get it, you can be shining your light all the same, and you will be, because you never have to sacrifice your spirituality. You're still going to see the signs and get the connections in this world, right? And then you're also going to spend time like consciously elevating, right? And have that world as well. Just as how you manifest. We manifest from thought form, from the seeds of inspiration, from the ideas that come in through source, and then we pull them into this physical reality, right? We pull it in and manifest it. It's the same thing. It's full commitment. It's full belief. It's giving ourselves permission to own our spiritual powers. Okay, so I hope that helps answer that question. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to move through this pretty quickly. So someone wrote in and he said, if she is my twin, let's say she has deep feelings for me, yet she is in another relationship and doesn't talk to me and blocks me on social media. How can she do that, and why? So this goes back to the basics of separation, twin flame separation. This is ego running from a twin flame. This is a twin flame who has to play out a karmic relationship to evolve on her own. Okay, this was asked by Ko Wai-Yan. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So she has to be on her own journey now. Okay, you get the connection at the soul level, but on the 3D plane, there are experiences that still need to be played out. And her sort of rejecting you, shutting you down, you have to honor that for now. You're saying, why? And how can she do that? And this is so hurtful. And this couldn't be how it could be, because I know what this connection is. And the truth is that at the soul level, yes, there is the deepest love and the most amazing connection, but you're here to learn with your twin flame, and you both have things to do. So if one is in a karmic relationship, you have to respect that relationship. You must trust in the divine timing and divine order of that relationship. Your twin flame is not intentionally meaning to hurt you, but they are at a soul level. You have contracted to do this dance together, and they are bringing stuff up for you that you need to get in alignment with yourself and focus on. So I would focus for you, Ko Wai-Yan, I would focus on what this is bringing up for you. Is it bringing up rejection, fear of abandonment? What are the feelings? Where is it stemming from in you? What can you heal within yourself? Because the job of twins is to heal at a greater level as individuals so that we can evolve and ascend and come together in harmony. But there's often a karmic relationship or more lessons to be learned or more mirroring. And often our twins are not nice to us. They are jerks. They are narcissists. They are drunks. They are mean. And we get triggered by them. And it's important that you set healthy boundaries for yourself and that you walk in line with, you never go, it's important that you learn and you grow from this, but that you know your own limitations and that you set boundaries in line with your morals. And I think at this point, Ko Wai-Yan, if it's making you feel bad, you have to just let her be. Understand that she's doing her thing right now. She needs her space. Allow her that space if you love her. And it's also the universe, God, source is telling you it's time to focus on you. This will heal. You'll have contact again. You don't need to worry about it. There's nothing you need to worry about. And I know that's hard to trust and it's hard to understand, but the journey of twin flames is to tap into these low vibrational behaviors, our own patterns, our own healing that is calling out for deeper focus, for deeper healing, for deeper understanding and self-love. It's self-love, especially when you're in a dynamic where you feel like it's unrequited love or rejection in the 3D. I mean, that's calling you to heal your, probably child wounds and get into a greater feeling of self-love where you wouldn't accept less than what you deserve and where you truly love yourself. And I guarantee when that happens, you'll see the whole situation will it'll all fall into line, fall into place, or the contact will reopen at the perfect time when you're ready. But we can't get there when we're focused on the other person, if that makes sense. Okay, I hope that answers that question. Okay, so I had 2 questions from Carly, and Carly asked, do our twins see our names and numbers as much as we do while in physical separation? I would say the answer to that is 100% yes, they do. Are they necessarily as aware and tapped into it as we are? Probably not. It depends on how awakened your twin flame is. But I can guarantee you that it's all around them. They may be catching 20% of it and you're catching 80% of it because you're in a more heightened state, because you're more tapped into it, because your heart has been more blown open, because your third eye has been more awakened and more opened. But is it always around them? Yes, 100%. But they may, like I said, just get like one or two things. Like, for instance, you may be seeing their name everywhere. You may be seeing the numbers that are significant everywhere. You're being bombarded. And as I've said, you develop your own language with the signs. But in the same sense, their guides are also sending them signs and synchronicities that are reaffirming the connection, that are reminders, that are sending love. And I think the purer you get with unconditional love, the more those signs flow through to them as well. But they may not be getting bombarded because they're not seeing it all. They're just getting like a piece here and there. Or maybe some strange things that are aligning, or dreams that they're having are causing them to awaken, okay? Try not, and not for Carly because I know where you're at, but for the collective and for everyone who's listening, try not to manipulate the signs. This is really about receiving them, laughing, and then just letting them go. Not putting pressure on them, not saying, you know, what does this mean? Why am I being tortured? It's just like, no, this is magic. They're little winks and nudges. They're saying, oh, this connection is still alive at an unseen level, at a much higher level. This is saying that you may get very literal signs. Like, it may spell out for you the answers to what you're thinking in your head. And those are like the hit you over the head signs that you don't need to like build evidence for, keep a journal for, to understand what they mean and develop your own language. Those are like literal signs. And watch my video on signs and synchronicities. I think I have a couple of them on the YouTube channel. You just have to dig back. So another question that Carly had asked is a different kind of union. She says, I'm coming to believe that me and my twins' purpose together in the physical are for being ones to evolve and develop our community through the paths of our own soul's growth, which are influenced by one another. And not necessarily that we're meant to be together in the traditional sense of cohabitating, family, romance, etc. Is there ever a thing where twins are meant to be partners in purpose, in a sense? Carly, yes, that is the mission of Twin Flames. You are supposed to serve your missions as individuals, to discover that. Do I believe you're pushing that forward right now? 100%. And that you're almost doing it symbiotically, like both pushing your communities forward? Yes. It's getting on mission? Yes. But when both the twins get on mission, and I think that one twin gets there first, and the other follows, it's like union is still possible. And I know I hate to say that because it's like you don't want that piece in there about romance and all of that. But when you've got on mission, you've come far, okay? Does that make sense? It's going to pull you even further into awakening and ascension. So when both twins are on mission, yeah. Now, I have to point out something because I know Carly, she's a client of mine. Let's say this, that just working in the same community doesn't mean your twin is on his mission, okay? It means that he'll get there, and I feel like it'll be behind you, okay? He's serving something. I feel like he's serving some ego right now, as well as some pieces of his authentic self, but he hasn't even got all the way on his mission. So know that if you're the pioneer on the mission, this is exactly, twins are here to serve humanity, to raise the consciousness. It is the work that we do as individuals that begins that. And it starts as individuals. It starts with self-love. Self-love that once we heal and have healed at a deeper level, and once we've turned up the self-love, and once we've stepped into our divine feminine power, harnessed that, or divine masculine power and harnessed that in a healthy way, then we can get on mission and push that forward. And a lot of you might be seeing glimmers of your mission right now, but you're still acquiring the tools or sharpening the tools in the toolbox and acquiring the confidence and getting into the self-love. And that's good. You'll be there. You'll get there. not time yet, but you're getting there. You may have a chance to dabble in it, or you might be soaring on your mission now. So keep soaring. And I feel like mission is, it's just pushing you further and closer to what's authentic, okay, for you. And whatever is authentic for you will come in alignment with you. And your twin flame, even though it is part of the same community, like spiritual or whatever, he may need some time to get really authentic and dig into the real service, into the real purpose, because he's still awakening. So he'll join you too. And at that point, when that happens, that really union could be possible at that point. And so just because you see in the physical time-space reality that he's chosen a different life partner and, you know, you're doing this thing, but you're both working in the same field, doesn't mean that that's conclusive of the fact that you're only supposed to be here to serve missions as individuals. Twin flames always have the opportunity to come together in union, but it depends on how much work the individual soul is willing to do. And you'll see the dance evolve for Carly. You'll see this play out as you keep moving forward on your own mission and keep doing that. Yes, there is purpose. And yes, there could be years of synchronistic stuff happening in a similar arena or similar community. But yes, as both get onto mission, you have more of an opportunity for union at that point. So I hope that answers that question, and it doesn't burst your bubble of trying to make this so linear, because it's not that linear, if that makes sense. It's not as linear as you think. So when we think of things so in such a linear way, like, okay, I'm doing this and he's doing this, and so does that just mean we're just going to do this forever? But it's like, I'm doing this, but I'm going like this. Expansion, expansion, expansion. And then with that expansion, 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 he may be going like this and starting to expand and expand slower, but, you know, there. And so we don't know how this is all going to play out, okay? So just accept that this will unfold for you, okay? Okay, I got a long email and some beautiful questions from Marjorie. Thank you so much. I'm going to try to just weed out the important pieces of this because I got a lot of the backstory and it's beautiful questions. So she's saying that she's been stepping more into her feminine power, more daily working hard on her mission, having great success and outcomes. Good manifester, things are going well in that realm. She said, I've never in my life have felt that I'm so completely on the right track. Yay. But I truly just want to not think about my twin flame anymore and only focus on me. I'm also wondering if it is possible that I'm supposed to actually be with my twin in a physical way, or just that he served as a catalyst for self-love, and that is that. So this kind of goes in line with Carly's thing. And the piece of this is, yes, the purpose of twins coming together is to spark the greatest growth of your life, that great awakening, that amazing evolution, that triggering all the triggers. And Marjorie had alluded to my twin is, you know, narcissistic and unhealthy and wounded. And the thing about this is that I know, Marjorie, from your question of I don't want to think about him anymore and I only want to focus on me. There's so much attachment there, okay? And you haven't, as much as you think, hit full surrender in your connection. You're doing a good job, though, and you're getting into yourself, and that's great. But when we're fully in surrender, we don't say, I can assure you, it doesn't feel like, it's not even about saying, it's about feeling. We don't feel like we're being tortured by thoughts of your twin, especially we're in trust. We're in joy of how this is unfolding. We're in trust of the separation. We're not being tortured by the thoughts. We're just sending love and just trusting in the journey. So the question again is, has he just served as a catalyst for self-love? In a big way, yes. But is union still possible? Yes. It's just that you can't hold on to the notion of union. That becomes an attachment. That becomes something that you'll start looking at and going, well, why isn't it here yet? Well, why isn't it here yet? Union comes from the full surrender, from the stepping fully into our, for Marjorie, stepping fully into your divine feminine power. And you will know when you get there, you started to remember the pieces of your true self. That's why you're feeling good. You're going, I'm getting on my mission and I'm doing myself and this is so good. And why would I want to be with someone so toxic anyhow? Well, you know why? Because it's not time. You're still clearing your own stuff. You're still healing. You're still claiming your spiritual powers. You're still stepping into your spirituality, your healing, your mission. And remember, whatever your twin stuff is, it's your stuff too. All those wounds and everything. They're all similar, different circumstances, but same core wounds. So it's stuff that you still have to look within you and stop feeling so separate from your twin and say, I own this too. I take responsibility for it. I want to learn how to heal it at a deeper level. Not, oh yeah, I've already done that. I'm past that. Because guess what? That's going to slap you right in the face, you guys. You'll keep getting the same lessons until you heal it. But have you made progress? Of course you have. That's why you're starting to remember who you are at the soul level. And that's what that resonance is of, I'm feeling good, I'm finding true self. But the surrender comes when you're all the way into that. And from that, you won't feel like, I don't want to think about him anymore. You're just going to think of him and have love and let it go. And just trust in the separation, in the unfolding, in the whole thing. Not worry about timelines and linear paths and all of that. And know that anything is possible. And only ask to line up with right now what's in line for you. What serves your highest self. Because if you are the more awakened one and your twin is lagging down here and more low vibrational stuff, guess what? There is going to be a separation. You can't hold the same space. I mean, you can hold space for that person, but you can't carry out a relationship energetically if you're not in the same energetic field. So you have to remember that it's all in divine order and just trust it and just trust it. And who's in line for you right now will come into your experience for your highest good, teachers, karmic relationships, whatever that may be, to help you evolve and get even more ready for a potential union with your twin flame. Now, if you don't want to think about union, just keep focusing on self then. Keep focusing on mission and still do not deny your love for your twin flame because your ego feels shut down, because you feel disappointed, because you see no outward progress with them on the 3D plane. You cannot deny yourself the love that you have in your heart. Your challenge is to say, my twin flame is mentally, physically, and emotionally abusive. He's all fucked up, and I still love him, but I love myself more. So I'm going to go do me now, and I'm just going to send him love and let him do his thing. And this will heal itself. And the universe is going to serve up to me exactly what's in line for me. And let it just go. Okay? So second part of Marjorie's question is, she says, am I manifesting the synchronicities and signs about twin flames because my manifesting abilities are stronger since I believe that we are twin flames? And it is in my thoughts, synchronicities continually manifest in my external reality. She says, like a few months ago, my twin said to me, you think we are twin flames because you want us to be twin flames, and it is all in your mind. Of course, his ego is going to say that. Here's the thing about it. We don't need our twin to validate our belief in the concept, in the theories, in the ascension tools. We need to own that for ourselves. Secondly, am I manifesting the synchronicities just because of my belief? Well, I don't think it works that way. I really believe that you're just tapping into a new level of manifestation ability. When you tap into this journey and you're aware, you're the more awakened twin or like more aware of what's happening in the connection, you will naturally pull in signs. You will see the 1111s. You will get the twin's name. You will get all of this. And you will receive the messages in the dreams. And like I said, he will too at some level, as I explained in the first question. But, or this, I think it was the one that Carly asked about, as my twin seeing the signs also. But see, he shut down. I can hear him saying, you think we're twin flames because you want us to be twin flames, and it's all in your mind. And that's his ego saying, I reject this. This is foreign to me. I don't want to believe it. I'm not ready for you. Stay away. This is whatever. Like, they're not ready for it yet. A lot of times the divine masculine isn't, or it may be the divine feminine who isn't, depending on your dynamic. But whatever the case, whether it's because of a wounded self or, you know, the commitment issues that come from that, or whatever it is, it's the ego that's talking and saying those things. So don't let that affect your belief in it. You actually don't need the validation from your twin. Your twin flame doesn't need to know that they're a twin flame for you to navigate this journey flawlessly. Okay? All that matters is that you're awakened enough to acquire the tools. And you guys, you know, Allison Lassard has a wonderful toolbox for, you know, beginner twin flames that are just starting to like understand what this process is, or if you need more clarity along the journey, go to her website. It's Allison Lassard. Download her 25-page guidebook for twin flames, and it explains a lot about what this journey is and what it means and what's the difference between this or that. But number one thing is trust. You are not making this up. You are not pulling in the signs. You're opening up to them at a greater level. And then your awareness is tapping into things, and then you may be seeing it in abundance, because in that case, like as you become more aware, you're pulling it in at a greater level, or you're noticing it more. But it's not that you're crazy or that this is made up. That's the piece. What your twin flame is doing is he's challenging the piece of you that doesn't believe it. So I'm going to say that again for Marjorie, just to answer your question. He's challenging the piece of you that isn't in full belief. The piece of you that feels like you're crazy. The piece of you that wants to give up, or, you know, this isn't about giving up or saying like, I don't want to talk to my twin flame anymore. This is just about going, I just want to do me. And I love my twin flame, and I just surrender, and I just trust in the divine order of everything. And when we get to that place, we can be very joyful in the journey. But we need tools, practice, healers to help us along. And part of this is wound healing. Like I said, it's getting in our divine feminine and divine masculine powers and understanding what this all means. Because those two things, the healing the wounds, the core wounds, understanding what they are, the awareness, and the balancing your feminine, the polarities, the feminine masculine energies within, and harnessing your authentic powers, that is what moves you closer to union, pushes you forward on mission, gets you in surrender. And I work with twin flames to get you to take those tools and put them in your toolbox, to understand what those tools are. So when I'm not with you, when you can't have sessions with me, when you're on your own, you're doing the work and you're in the flow, and then you get knocked out and you're like, oh shit, I'm having a bad day. Oh, why can't I get my twin off my mind? Why can't I? You just go over to your little toolbox and you're like, oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. I know how to pull myself out of this. I can divert my attention to something joyful. I can go into creative mode. I can say this affirmation. I can go into this meditation. I'm going to go listen to this YouTube video. Or you'll be able to pull yourself out when you get knocked off or got kind of thrown off as surrender. And you will come in and out at first. Surrender is something that you can sustain once you strengthen the practice of it. The practice of, you know, for 4 of you who wrote into me, it was the divine feminine, for being in your divine feminine. That takes practice. Where most of the divine feminine are not used to being in their divine feminine, because we've worn false masculine masks that aren't letting us, you know, recognize our true selves. But as we embark on this journey with our twin flame, all of that true self remembrance is being sparked, and that's why it feels so good at times. But at other times we slip out of it and it feels yucky. So trying the tools out, practicing, and then knowing that they're there for you to access at any time, you'll be able to heal yourself. I'm not here to heal you. I'm here to give you the tools to guide you. You'll be in control of your own self-healing, your own aha moments, your own journey. But these are all amazing questions, and I feel like so perfect for what's happening right now in the collective. So thank you so much. I hope those answers helped. Keep your questions coming, and I will see you guys on the next video. And look forward to connecting with you that are going to join in on the call tonight at 5:30. Okay, bye.